And his parents, Sung Hee Han and Hwa Wan Cho, are here. So Edward, we're going to give you the microphone to do what you need to do. Congratulations on coming up, and I hope we didn't give you too much pressure.
Hello. Hello everyone, my name is Edward Cho, and it's truly an honor to be here today. Before I start, I'd like to thank New York Supreme Court Judge Walter, Saddlebrook Chief Robert Kugler, and FBI Agent Tom Masters. So I would also like to thank the Board of Directors and the parents for being here tonight. So the topic I'll be doing today is law in general and law's functions in society. So what is law? Law is a set of rules that people in a society are expected to follow, and the law dictates how we think and how we act. But in truth, the law is so much more than just a set of rules. Intrinsically, we tend to go to our desires and we want to fulfill our endeavors, but the law kind of restricts this behavior and creates social order and harmony in society. So without the law, pandemonium would erupt. And so clearly, the law is essential to society. So the law has a variety of functions, so I'll be going over some of the functions that law has in society. So firstly, law instigates social order. So basically in society, people have different values and interests, and it's necessary to control these differences by imprinting social norms in society. So this is done by social controls. So there's two types of controls. There's formal and informal. So informal social controls don't have a legal sanction. And so an example of this would be a teacher disciplining a child for breaking a rule in the school. And a formal social control has legal sanction. So if someone commits a crime, there would be a punishment, either a fine or jail time. And second, the law also settles disputes. So in society, disputes are bound to happen and disagreements are inevitable. And so the law provides a formal way and is the basis for the resolution of these disputes in the court system, either in federal or local or state court system. The law also instigates moral order, and so the punishment of crimes give people the perception that crimes are unacceptable and should be avoided. So the clearest example of this is the norm not to commit murder. So when we view murder, we tend to have stigma for it, and we see it as such a heinous act. And so this also applies to other crimes as well, such as speeding. Even though it may not be unmoral or immoral, it still should be avoided. So the law also protects safety in society. So labor laws ensure that the conditions we're working in are safe and clean. The handicap laws give people the necessities of life. And the list goes on and on. There's a lot of laws that protect us in society. So in the end, law has many different functions, but the one main rule is that law keeps order and sets rules that individuals are expected to follow. So any deviation, so crime by definition is any action or offense that defies law and it has repercussions. So crime is obviously bad for society. So to keep society as civilized and crime-free as possible, crime prevention strategies are implemented by various agencies and individuals. So a crime prevention strategy reduces crime by deterring the criminals from actually committing the crimes. So many of these strategies have been adopted by various countries, but the one I'll be talking about today is the crime prevention through environmental design strategy, introduced by C.R. Jeffrey, a criminologist. So the crime prevention through environmental design strategy main objective is to disincentivize crime by altering the physical design of communities in which students reside. So it has three key elements: natural surveillance, natural access control, and natural territorial reinforcement. So natural surveillance increases the perceived risk of attempting crime by improving visibility of potential offenders to the general public. So it changes and places certain things so that people, the criminals are more susceptible to the public. So an example of this would be windows overlooking a lot, because the potential criminal would have the image in his mind that he or she is being watched by the public through the windows. And so the other element is natural territorial reinforcement. And this clearly delineates a space as public or private. And the private place has a kind of hands-off message to it, and it has a sense of ownership to it. So the criminals are deterred if a place is private. So an example of this would be a warning sign, a private property sign, as the criminals would be deterred from entering that place. And the next one is natural access. It's the physical guidance of people coming and going from the space by the judicial placement of entrances, fences, landscaping, and lighting. So this helps deter access to a crime target or victim and creates a perception of risk to a perpetrator. So an example of this would be a sidewalk or a single entry point to a building, because the people would be less scattered and they would be less susceptible to a criminal. And so these are the three components of the environmental design strategy. And another strategy I'll be talking about is the situational crime prevention strategy. And this basically relies on safety mechanisms that assist in protecting people by making criminals feel they may be unable to commit crimes in a situation where they may be caught or detected, which will result in them being unwilling to commit crimes where such mechanisms are in place. So an example of this would be the automated traffic enforcement system, which use cameras at the red lights. And so a person who's thinking of running the red light or is speeding is disincentivized to actually run the red light, because he or she will see the camera there, and he or she would know that the risk of getting caught is basically 100%, because the camera is right there. So this system is actually very effective, as one study showed that there was a 96% decrease in red light violations. And so crime has many different elements to it, and crime has been present in the past, it is present like right now, and it will continue to be present in the future. But these strategies attempt to mitigate the number of crimes as much as possible. Thank you.
Ed, we wanted you to meet the expectations, not exceed them. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? And, the Honorable Judge has
Are you sure you're in the 10th grade? Because you spoke like you're a senior in college.
Thank you. Yes, I am in 10th grade. Pretty sure.
Fantastic.
Anybody else? Well, Ed, you did a phenomenal job. Unbelievable. So if you thought Ed was under pressure, our next presenter, I am sure, is